Alright, hello everyone and welcome to today's Gems of War video. This video I have for you, my response to the Gems of War 7.5 update sneak peek. Didn't expect that I would be reviewing the Gems of War 7.5 update sneak peek today. Nor did I expect that we would actually begin Gems of War 7.5 update later today. So, first things first, if you have anything that is time sensitive that you need to do in PvP, Tower of Doom, Under Inspire, Kingdom Pass, of course, anything that is time sensitive that you need to get done today, Faction Assault, anything that you need to get done on Tuesday, don't wait, do it now if the update hasn't happened yet, because don't take that chance that when the update happens that everything breaks. That could legitimately happen, and that's not even this developer's thing. That could happen to any developer. But anyway, since we've now get started, so there is a video. I will link it in the description below. I am not going to play the video now because I've already played it, but I'm just going to simply go straight to the patch notes. And again, if you do want to watch this video, I do recommend you do so. I will probably cover most of the big bullet points as I go through the patch notes, I think. Anyway, yeah, they're hoping that Nintendo Switch is going to be available to patch, but they have technical difficulties that they're going through the final hours trying to do. So that's why I said don't wait to do things now, because just because the update happens doesn't mean it's going to work. So we will have alliances in 7.5, and it's a new system. You join an alliance independent of your guild. So you could be in the same alliance as everyone in your guild, or everyone in your guild can be in different alliances. There are 5 alliances to choose from. They are putting air quotes when I say they are identical. There are no specific buffs, like the Bright Empire doesn't have any different buffs than the Dark Order, and so forth like that. But I do get a sense that there might be advantages and disadvantages to being in certain alliances. And that's going to kind of go in a little bit more what goes on. Mostly, as we kind of go through these patch notes, you're going to join one of these alliances, but you're going to be very discouraged from changing alliances as you get later on. So there's a lot of disadvantages to alliance hopping. So be very careful. So if you want to be in the same alliance as your favorite YouTuber, make sure that you know which alliance that your favorite YouTuber is joining before you join one yourself. So that way you don't end up in the wrong alliance or something. I know I'm not your favorite YouTuber. I know I'm good with that. I think I kind of know which alliance I'm going to join, and that would be just a personal choice. But I won't reveal that just yet. I will leave that for later. Each day a player is in an alliance, they receive 1+1 loyalty for that alliance. When you join your very first alliance, you get 10 days loyalty as a gift. So basically, whichever alliance you join first, you'll essentially the game will essentially treat you as you've been there for 10 days. But that's a one-time only thing. Once you leave that alliance, your loyalty goes down to 0, and when you join another alliance, your loyalty starts at 0. So you will be they're like I said, it's they are incentivizing joining alliance and staying there. And then if the player decides to leave their alliance, they'll lose 25% of their total VP. That is, I am assuming, means that is the VP that you have accumulated in the entirety of the time that you've been playing PvP, which actually is going to hurt players who have been grinding PvP more than players who have generally kind of left it alone. It's not like the end of the world to lose 25% of your total VP, but if it's something that makes it such that you can no longer purchase something from the PvP shop that you would want to purchase, that would be that could be something to consider. And of course, your current loyalty and alliance rank goes back to 0, which should be obvious. Joining a new alliance will recalculate the player's rank based on their total VP and loyalty, which will be 0, unless it's your first alliance. To aid alliances who don't own 2 or more citadels, then they'll go into Citadel Wars in just a little bit. The alliance members will gain a skill point buff for all PvP battles, so that means if your alliance does not have any citadels, then you get a 20% skill point bonus in Citadel Wars. And if you only have 1, you get 10% skill point bonus, and 2 or more, you don't need any, essentially. The alliance ranks, there are 18 alliance ranks, 9 legionaries, which are the lower ones, and 9 officer ranks, which are the higher ones. All alliances use the same ranks, so there's no difference between that. Higher the rank, the more VP and loyalty required. That makes sense. So the first time you join an alliance, you start at Legendary 6, and that is, again, I'm guessing that's because the loyalty means that you get to that rank based on 10 days. Players will earn daily rewards from their alliance, silver, and eventually gold marks. That's good. Anything that gives me gold marks, I'm all for it, because gold marks means random books of deeds. Daily rewards will increase as players earn higher ranks within their alliance. Changing alliances are bad, because you don't get any more daily rewards from being earned until you reach Legendary 6 in the new alliance. So keep in mind, so that is Legendary 6 is what you start off with the free 10 days. That means if you switch over, you don't get daily rewards until you get those until you stay put for another 10 days. Alliance chat is kind of self-explanatory. It's basically the same thing, similar to the guilds. You gain access to the alliance chat when you join the alliance, and when you leave, you lose access to that alliance chat. Self-explanatory. Most of it is system messages, but if you are Centurion rank 6, Centurion rank 5 or higher, which is the lowest non-legionary rank, that will allow you to write in the chat. They're hoping that's going to prevent malicious chat spam. Good luck with that. Central location in the region is now available for players in Citadels, so that's that one spot in the for each of the regions that hasn't done that we haven't done anything. So 1 to 2 citadels will become vulnerable once a week from daily reset, excluding Wednesday and Sunday. I don't know why this is 1 to 2, because there's 10 PvP regions, and they are giving themselves 5 days to do Citadel Wars. So unless a Citadel is not going to be vulnerable on a week, and I don't know why that would be, then it should be 2 a week, 2 a day. But who knows? But we'll see. But there are no Citadels vulnerable on Wednesday, which is the day that we typically see the all-day pet rescue, and Sunday because that is going to be when they're going to be doing voting, which I'll cover a little bit later. Vulnerable citadels are fought in Citadel Wars, which is going to be covered later. Blood Frenzy is never going to be in the same region as a vulnerable citadel, so that would make sense. You don't want to be facing off against other players with a 50% buff, particularly if you're supposed to have a 20% buff for not having a citadel. And then you'll be able to see which citadel's vulnerable. It's covered in the video. Citadel Wars are 1 day. You get 6 Citadel sigils per day. There are no Val Ravens or Val Hawks that give you extra Citadel sigils, but you can purchase more Citadel sigils up to 3 times a day. So I'm assuming that's going to be the usual. You can buy 6 for 50 gems the first time, then 6 for 100 gems the second time, and 6 for 150. That would be consistent with what we see elsewhere. Citadels are capped at 6 when they regenerate, so they do not carry over from one Citadel war to another. Citadel Wars contain PvPs and battles against Citadel Guardian. In order to quick battles, players will have 3 opponents to choose between, etc., etc. This is where it kind of starts to get close to one of our world events formats, where you're basically going to face off against other players. I believe it is 4 times, and then you face off against the Citadel Guardian, which is worth more than the regular players. And then the Citadel Guardian has some OP defensive trades. It's not going to be available yet. I'm assuming it's going to be available in the Soulforge later on, based on how they worded it. But I would expect, my prediction is that this is going to have a Zul'Goth or CT level of price range. So save up your orbs of power just in case. Just in case you don't want to wait until you get 8 orbs of power to get the next thing. So I'm assuming this is the next big thing we can get. Soulforge, although it will not be available right at 7. Yeah, and everything else is about the same. So as like I said, the world events where you basically just do. You just pick 3. You just pick a bunch of players, then do the Citadel Guardian, which is going to be the one that's worth most. This does, I would say, tactically, it does kind of encourage you to, if there's 2 Citadels up for battle, to choose the one that you think you have the best chance to win, rather than splitting it up evenly across the 2 of them. I don't know if it's going to be worth doing buying extra sigils, but I know people will. As you get rewards for participating, and you get awards if the alliances win. If your alliance wins, essentially the bonus that you get for winning comes down to where they talk about the Citadel voting, where on Sunday you get to choose what the next restriction is going to be for that region, and you'll also get to choose the heroic gem, which is going to be used in that region next week. So obviously you want to pick the ones that benefit you the most, and yeah, stuff like that. And we can actually have like Canthropy gems popping up in this, which is gonna be amazing if anyone actually votes for that. But anyway, you have to have an alliance loyalty of at least 10 days to participate in the voting. Your votes are also scaled based on your loyalty, so people who have been there forever will have the most votes. People who are just there 10 days won't have as much of a vote. I believe that's how it scales, but like I said, they're very much trying to tell you, do not go Citadel hopping, go alliance hopping. They don't want you to do that. There's a lot of very punishing things. You're probably, unless your alliance is ridiculously underpowered compared to everyone else, then there's no reason to switch. You should just find an alliance, stay there, and don't move. So anyway, Legends Reborn is going to get some improvements. The first one is the one I'm most excited about. You'll only have to do the Kingdom Quest once rather than 5 times over and over and over again. Thank you very much. That was the worst part of Legends Reborn, my personal opinion. There's a couple other things that kind of go. The rest of it's not as important. I do think that I would be interested to see if they add more, if they scale up collectible currency, because I find that I can get that done easily in like 1 or 2 days, and then the event is pretty much dead to me. So I got everything I needed. I've gotten all the rewards that I either want, and the rewards that are left there are the things I don't want. So particularly if we're only doing the Kingdom Quest once, I would hope that they're going to increase that. But we'll see what happens. There are 2 more achievements that are applicable to the alliances. One for joining an alliance, which will probably get pretty quickly, and another one for defeating 10 Citadel Guardians, which will definitely take some effort. And the rest of the stuff isn't as useful as far as general. They added a new heroic gem for a future campaign, which we'll probably get after Mist of Scales. I haven't really looked that far in. I do know Mist of Scales is the kingdom we're getting after Whitehelm. I'd be surprised if that's the beginning of the next kingdom. They tried to make it so that when you see PvP opponents, that you won't see 3 of the exact same team. Good luck with that. I don't think that's going to work, but good luck with that. Some other things, they made some improvements for shiny troops that are fully maxed out. I don't have any that are maxed out right now, and to be honest, I really don't care about the shiny troops anymore. I spend them the shiny keys as soon as I get them, unless it is it depends on the event. If the event is invasion, journey, or raid boss, I save them for the next week. If it's something else, then I just spend them, because since the journey troops are none of the troops are really all that super powerful. Even the ones that are pretty good, it's the shiny troop. The shiny troop. The bonus for the shiny troops is really best for the Pathfinders when they were Pathfinder. Now that they're not, it doesn't really matter. So, they did add a heroic gem guide, which is pretty much overdue. Hopefully that will also help you if you bring it up during a battle. It'll help. Hopefully it will fast forward right to the heroic gems that are on the screen. Now that the PvP can select heroic gems as it's not really a restriction, but maybe a bonus for each region, you're now going to need to know what each one of those are. And that's good. That's a lot. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to without a cheat sheet. That's for sure. And more bug fixes, which are not easy. And like I said, as I said at the beginning of this video, if the update has not happened yet, and you still have things you need to do today, do it now, just in case. It may not amount to anything, but better to be safe than sorry. And by the way, before you go, please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to this channel and or following me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of my content. As for the comments, let me know everything I got wrong. Let me know what alliance you want to join. Let me know if you think the alliances are going to be a big waste of time. Anything you want to, anything reasonable in the comments. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.